Hey Tiffany, welcome back.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. How have you been?
I've been okay. Just kind of busy.
Yeah? Tell me what you've been up to.
I have just been focusing on finishing out the semester at school. We're getting close to finals, and then I've been working a lot. I got a new job, so that's been keeping me busy. So yeah, I've just been busy with life stuff.
Yeah, so I'm interested in this new job that you got. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I actually got a job working sales for a company. I'm super excited about it. I get to work from home and it's super easy, and I just get to talk to a lot of different people. So I really enjoy that.
Yeah, what kind of sales are you doing?
Tech sales.
Okay.
So
Interest
just,
in technology?
I'm not really good with technology, but I'm a good talker. So here we are.
Yeah, so what has been your favorite aspect of the job so far?
Definitely getting to work from home. It makes like going to school and doing my job easier.
Okay. So we've got a new job. That's great to hear. That was one of our goals that we were talking about earlier. So happy to see that we're making progress there. Um, you mentioned that the end of semester's coming up. How are your classes going?
They're good. Yeah, I'm doing really well actually, and I signed up for my next semester, so I am going to be staying in school. Um, so I have about a year and a half left. So yeah.
Great. So what classes are you going to be taking? Are you excited about any of them?
Yeah, I'm taking a psychology class, and I think that's very interesting. So I'm really excited to take that. I'm not majoring in psychology, but I think it's interesting to learn about.
Yeah, I noticed when you just started talking about that, your face started to light up and you showed a lot of excitement for that. So I'm excited for you to get to start that. I know, again, school was one of the goals, which I was actually going to talk to you about those later, but I'm glad that you're bringing them up. So yeah, you've got a lot going on with end of semester coming up, starting a new job. Holidays are right around the corner. How are your stress levels? Where are you sitting at with those?
Can you pause it? Sorry, you just cut out. Yeah, so my stress levels they're okay. I'd say I'm at like a 5 out of 10. Just school and work is just it's kind of busy, but it's not that hard. And so it's a little bit stressful, but it's not that bad.
Okay, that's good to hear. It looks like you've got some coping mechanisms in place to deal with the rush that is the end of the semester. I remember being a student, still am a student. I remember doing that. So I can commiserate with you on that. Um, let's talk about how you and your boyfriend are doing. I know that's been a big concern of yours for the entirety of our sessions together. So I'd like to hear a little bit of an update on how you're doing individually and how you're doing as a couple.
Yeah, so we actually broke up last week, and I'm super happy about it. Um so I've been doing great since then. He was just kind of stressed me out a lot, and we just been arguing a lot, and so I just decided it was time to like step away and focus on me.
Yeah. Okay. That's a big commitment to make. Um, would you mind if we talked a little bit deeper about that, just for a little bit?
Yeah, of course. Um, well, like I said, so I know that we had talked about me working more on speaking up for myself and just kind of standing my ground and not letting people like kind of walk all over me. And so I had kind of been pushing back when he would, tell me to get another job and make me, pay for everything, and that I couldn't go out with my friends. And we just been arguing a lot about that. And so I, had just finally started sticking up for myself, and he just had a problem with that. So we were just always arguing, and he would get kind of verbally aggressive. And then I just like had enough and just decided that we were done.
Yeah. So it sounds like you've made a lot of progress in terms of building up your assertiveness.
Yeah, for sure. I think so.
How does that feel to know that you were able to stand up for yourself when you previously felt like you couldn't?
I think it feels good. I, it's just something I've always struggled with, and I probably will still struggle with it in the future, but I'm glad that I was able to get out of a situation that wasn't good for me, even though like it's always difficult to like leave a partner. It felt really good to, you know, do something just for me for once and kind of focus on myself.
Yeah. Self-care is a really big topic in today's world. And as much as some people might, talk against it and say it's silly, it really is important. So I'm very glad to hear that you're happy with the progress that you're making and the assertiveness that you see yourself starting to present. Um, so now we pretty much covered a lot of your goals, and I haven't even had to really bring them up, which is awesome. So you broke up with your boyfriend, which is a really big thing. Um, and I know that you guys were living together and you were pretty intertwined. You had a very enmeshed relationship. So tell me a little bit about like what your lifestyle's like now. Have you been able to find a place to live? What are your relationships looking like? I just want to check in and make sure everything else is going okay.
Yeah, so when I broke up with my boyfriend, we were living with his mom and she kind of screamed at me and like threw all my stuff out in the yard, but that was okay. I just kind of got it on, like left. I've been staying with my best friend, so she's been helping me out, but I have been looking at apartments and I think I found one that's close to school, so that's in my budget, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm kind of glad that I get to spend so much time with my best friend since I really have kind of been neglecting that relationship recently, so that's been good for both of us, I think.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. You said she threw your stuff out on the lawn?
Yeah. She loves her son, I guess.
Yeah, the only reason I bring that up is because you said, she threw my stuff out on the lawn, but it's okay. And I just want to reiterate that you don't deserve that kind of treatment. You are a human being that deserves respect and dignity given to you for that sole reason alone. So I want to make sure that we're also putting into place healthy thinking habits and making sure that we're not going back to a place of people pleasing. I know we've talked about that in the past and that assertiveness. So I just want to make sure that we're still making those steps forward. But yeah, so you've been getting to spend a lot more time with your best friend now. Um, what is it? I want to try to figure out how to word this correctly. You previously hadn't been able to hang out with her very much because of your relationship with your boyfriend and him not being supportive of that. So I want to hear what it's been like for the two of you to navigate going back into that relationship.
Yeah, honestly, it's kind of like no time has passed. I mean, she's always been here for me. I mean, I know she's very happy that I broke up with him. She didn't like him, obviously. Um, he just isn't a very good person, and so we kind of just jumped right back into things. It's good to be able to like take time for myself and do things I actually enjoy instead of like having to focus on somebody else and everything that they enjoy doing. So that's been nice.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. What else?
Um, it's I feel really bad about, not having spent a lot of time with her in the past or the past couple of years. And I know that she doesn't want me to feel bad about those things, but kind of can't help it sometimes because she's just so good to me and I haven't been the best friend that I could be, but I'm trying to work on that so that things like this don't happen again. But like I said, she doesn't like blame me for it. She's not mad at me or anything, but I just still feel a little bit bad.
Yeah, so you feel this little bit of guilt over having let the relationship fade.
Yeah, and kind of putting a man over my best friend, especially a man of such low quality. So, yes.
Yeah, I can definitely understand why that might produce a little bit of guilt of seemingly put one relationship that we now realize was not as beneficial in front of one that really has been supportive and good for you.
Yeah, honestly, he's just a loser and I should have recognized that sooner and he's just not a good man. He just kind of sucks, honestly. And my best friend is so great and she kind of deserved better than that. But like she kind of been telling me that, we all kind of do that every once in a while where we focus on the wrong person. And so like, she's not holding it against me, but I just want to be a better friend because she's been so good to me.
Yeah. And domestic violence is one of those things that it knows no boundaries. It affects men and women of every race, every background, every socioeconomic style, education level. So you are not alone in feeling like, I don't know how this happened and I don't know how I didn't realize it sooner. It's a tricky mind game, and one that women have, and men, they do also experience, that have been fighting and experiencing for years. So I do want to encourage you and let you know that you are not alone in that. I did a lot of work with women who've been in there before, and they all say the same thing. So I do want to encourage you with that, and knowing that it's not just you, and it's something that every woman and every man has to be aware of. Okay, so for the next portion of our session, I know we've talked about in the last few months that we're nearing the end of our professional relationship together. So what I want to do is I want to do a recap of where we started and then where we are now. So I would like your help. I have my iPad in front of me, and I would just like it if we could draw out kind of a timeline so we can map out the progress that you've made, and going forward as we start to finish this, you have some encouragement in knowing that I started here and I put in a lot of work, and now I'm on the other side of it and I'm over here now. Is that okay?
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you talk, and I'm just gonna kind of draw it out, and at the end we'll review it, okay?
Okay. When I first came in to see you 6 months ago, I was in a bad relationship with a man who yelled at me a lot, didn't work, made me pay all the bills, wanted me to drop out of school. He wouldn't let me see my friends, and we were living with his mom who hated me. Um, and they both are kind of awful. And so you know, we were talking about how to kind of get out of that bad situation and, continue my education and, find a better job that I like that wasn't so stressful, and to kind of stick up for myself more. And I know that we spend a lot of time working, especially on the sticking up for myself part and just having confidence in myself and what I'm doing. And now we're at a place where, I'm obviously out of that relationship and have cut out those toxic people, and I have a better job and I'm continuing school, and I just feel better overall about myself and where I am in life.
Yeah, so we covered a lot in just a short bit. So I'd love to just kind of hear your take on what this experience has been like for you as we started in that bad relationship and unsafe living environment, journeyed through the counseling process, the goal setting, checking in, all the conversations we've had. I want to know what your experience has been. Did it match what you were expecting coming into it, or did it not? And yeah, just tell me a little bit about that.
Well, honestly, the experience was different than I expected because I know I came in here wanting you to tell me how to be better to keep my boyfriend. And obviously, this experience has led me to a better place of not even being with that boyfriend. But, I really enjoyed having a third party to talk to because it was just, there was no judgment, no bias. And I mean, like I talked to my friends about this, but they would just call my ex-boyfriend a piece of crap and just like bash on him. And I just didn't want to hear that at the time. And so I feel like just having someone who wasn't coming in here, bashing him or bashing me and was just like genuinely here for me was just like great, and like kind of what I needed to like see through the fog, or my rose colored glasses, I should say. So, yeah.
Yeah, so it was, I remember some of our first sessions, and looking back at your intake form and prep for this session, things have changed quite a bit now, haven't they? So
Yeah.
yeah, you've made a ton of progress. Very proud of the progress that you have made and the steps that you've taken to not only better yourself, but better your situation. So it's my belief that you are fully capable of continuing this progress without me. Not to say that, I don't want to continue working with you, but I do believe that you're at a place right now And you can tell me if I'm wrong. Just from what I've been seeing, it seems like you're in a place right now where you feel good about the progress that you've made and the steps that you've taken, that you can kind of continue to do this without me behind you every step. Obviously, if you need that support, counseling is always an option again, but what do you feel about the end of our relationship coming to a close?
Yeah, I feel comfortable with ending the relationship. I think I'm in a good place, and obviously the issue that I came here for is I no longer have that issue, and I just don't, I think I'm capable of doing things on my own, and just like, I'm confident in my abilities to like handle difficult situations now. So I think I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah, that independence is something that we also talked about in our early sessions, and it's something that I've seen in you, and it's continued to grow over the last 6 months that we've been together. So yeah, I see that in you. It's good to know that you also see that in yourself. So if it is okay with you, I think that this session has the potential to be our last one for a while. Is that okay?
For sure. Sounds great.
All right, Tiffany. Well, if that's the case, what I'm going to do is we'll go ahead and end our session here. If you don't have anything else that you'd like to talk about, and I'll reach out later in an email with some next steps in terms of what it looks like to end this relationship. Is that okay?
Great. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure to work with you. I wish nothing but the best for you. You have all my information. If you ever feel like you need to come back, feel free to call in or send an email, and we'll see what we can do for you. All
Great. Thank you.
right. Best of luck, Tiffany.
Oh my God.